Hi there, Jonathan here from Some Talented People, and we're at episode 2, day 2 of the relationship between the brain and wellness. I'm joined again by Koti, Abraham, and Jerry, who are going to give some insights today. And I always like to question people's personal experience so that beyond just theory, you understand that we are all experiencing mental discombobulation, and that even though we practice and tell you about these techniques that we're going to talk about, we are subject to the same pressures as anybody, and hopefully you'll understand that you are not alone in this thing. Okay, so let's go to...
Great. Well, your question is how it is that I got into being interested in the concept of wellness. I'm a neuroscientist, and so my life is supposed to progress in an orderly, rational way. Well, my science does, but my life doesn't necessarily.
Oh.
So how did that happen? Well, I'm very happily married, and I have 5 wonderful children. It took 3 iterations of marriage to get it right. So there are a fair amount of stresses and certainly adaptive behavior that goes with that. My children, all of them, have had various issues that have come as a result of the turmoils in life. And not all, but most have found their way. And they're all older people right now. So if they found their way, and if I've found my way, and if I'm productive as a scientist, why in God's good earth would it be necessary to go through what the Germans call Sturm und Drang, which is the fights and fisticuffs with God and everything else around in order to get to a place of wellness? Why not get the tools up front and cut back on a lot of the nonsense that we unfortunately have to go through, we human beings, over the course of the development of our personal and professional lives as well. So it rings with me very well.
It's a very interesting point you raise, actually, and the thing I find is that when I reflect myself, and we'll talk to Koti and Gerard shortly, but when I reflect, so I wrote a book about my experiences, and all of the really important lessons came from the worst pain. I mean, just the deepest pits of despair. And I will talk about this, but I wonder if it's possible for people to get it without feeling the despair. I don't know. Koti, are you happy to tell us something about you?
Yeah, I would like to say that the same as Jerry said just now. I'm surprised that the technology is developing. We in education and in life, we are like stuck at the same point. Why we are criticizing, judging, trying everything, seeing everything as errors in children. So it's so important to give to the children the space of being themselves, not feeling judges, to see as an artist. An artist say that every trial is a one step closer to the target. Why we don't live life that way? Why do we think that every trial is an error, is a failure? Now we see during the pandemic and COVID that every day is a gift. Why not to enjoy it as a gift? Why not be thankful? So, as Jerry said before, we have a very good partner. Our best partner is our mind. We can have it, we can train it for having the best, for having the best partnership. And as we said before, to live the life as nobody can distinguish when you are playing and enjoying and when you are working. This is the best way of living.
Very good, very good. Yeah, really nice. Thank you for that. Gerard, do you prefer Abraham or Gerard?
Either way. Okay. I am trained to answer to both calls. So, well, I from very young age, I realized that there was a lot to learn about human mind and human interaction about oneself. There is three parts of a person. There is a part that you share with outside. There is a part of outside share with you, but there is also the part of you on you. It's called intrapersonal. And I have found that intrapersonal is a source where you can, if you work on it, you can better yourself, because humans are really reprogrammable and are really perfectionable if you put your mind on the right way. What does that mean? That means not to answer by automatism. That means to see the difference between what your subconscious is making you do, which is 92% or 95% of the time, or that you don't even know, you don't realize, or what you do on the conscience. And then it became very clear to me that nowhere in the world there is in any university or school to teach you to think. So I realized that we think and we get things we get from our parents too, but we imitate other people and we imitate their default too. So I started to see that we can learn to think in a higher way, because we are a mammalian. So like mammalian, we have flight, freeze, fight mode reaction to something which is stressful to us, whatever it is. But because we are human, we have a part of the human which is called the prefrontal cortex, where we can judge, we can decide, we can analyze, we can prioritize. And we need to learn to tap more on that and to learn to dissociate and to give primacy of your intellect over your emotion. And in fact, the rest of what we will be speaking is part of application. But the idea is, when you have a reaction, to ask yourself, which I ask myself every day, is it the primal part of me who answers that way, or is it the intellectual part of me who can think in a better way? And then I decide.
Okay. That is very interesting. I'm gonna get some more out of you over the episodes, but thank you for that description. People that watch me and my videos know that I'm deeply flawed and have made all kinds of terrible decisions in the past that have been selfish, and I recognize that, and so I try to always leave people better than they are at the time they meet me. Sometimes I'll tell the worst jokes just so people go, ooh, because that brings joy to me. But personal experience is very good. Thank you, everyone, for those. Tomorrow, we're going to address the elephant in the room, COVID-19, COVID 20, 21, 22, and quite a way, I think, in the future. So everyone wave goodbye. Goodbye. Yay.
Bye, guys.
Wow. I am always humbled by the personal experiences of people, and I reflected in my own book that it seems that pain and trauma can be the best teachers for finding new ways to achieve things. Very much appreciate the way everyone's opened up in this episode, and we'll see you again tomorrow when we look at the impacts of COVID on everything, basically. So have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.